Hey guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock. Happy Wednesday to you all. Happy hump day. So I'm driving, so you're going to hear all kind of bings and pings and all that good stuff. I apologize in advance. So guys, I wanted to talk to you all today about how our mouths can block our blessings and how being humble can open doors to blessings. All right guys, so listen, you know I'm a realist, so I know without a doubt, that my mouth have blocked blessings in the past. You know, life is about, learning and growing and all that good stuff, right? But now I've learned that being humble in certain circumstances has opened doors for myself. Now, I'm going to give you guys an example, right? Okay, so of course I would never ever call any names or be too direct, but I'm going to use two of my staff for an example. You guys know I love a good example. All right, so I had a staff who applied for a job, right? She had only been on the job for 4 days. However, because she is more mature, a much more mature lady, she felt because she was older than my other staff members, and even myself, if I'm honest, that she didn't have to like take orders, or you basically you couldn't tell her anything, even though she's on someone else's job. Where I have another staff member who, even though she knows the job inside out and have great experiences, she still is very humble. She still wants to learn. She, is very, very humble, grateful, and appreciative, right? All right. So, the mature woman who was on the job for a short period of time, again, I have a very, very heavy gift of discernment. So, I knew from the jump that there was something about her. However, God didn't give me the okay to release her or not hire her, I should say. There was something more that God needed me to do. And as I always tell people, sometimes we think because we meet a person that means we're supposed to be in relationships of any sort. Sometimes God may use your environment just as an entryway to meet that person, to deliver a certain word. And so that's what happened. So because I knew I didn't feel clarity through my spirit and my discernment that she was someone who was deemed good for that position, I knew there was something that God needed me to do more. So she got the job, but it was on a temporary basis, meaning it was more like seasonal, I should say. I knew I wasn't going to hire her permanently. I just needed to know what was it that God needed me to do. Anyway, so within that process, within those 4 days, I still picked up on certain things that my discernment didn't get me clear way on. And I'm just like, God, I don't know what you need me to do, but I think I need to kind of do it kind of fast because listen. So basically, eventually, I knew what I needed to do. This person had been through a lot and had experienced some very, very bad things in her life. Very bad things in her life. And what happened was it made her bitter. It made her bitter as an individual. So it's almost like the thing that had happened to her a long time ago, she was still carrying that bitterness and resentment. And it was coming off on to other people who had nothing to do with the person who harmed her. So then I realized, after speaking to her, after being able to get her just to be a little bit humble, to share some things, then God used me to share some words. And basically I was just telling her that many times when we go through like a really, really hard life, like if you've really been through a lot in your earlier years, even childhood or whatever, it's almost like God wants to double your blessing. It's like he's going to give you double for your trouble, right? It's almost like, okay, Satan stole the first half of your life or the first quarter of your life, whatever. So now I want to give you double the blessings to make up for that, because you didn't turn your back on me. You still trusted me. You still believed me. You still had faith in me. You still loved me as your God, regardless of what has happened to you. So because you didn't turn your back on me, let me give you double for your trouble. But here's the thing. Just because God wants to give you blessings don't mean that you're in a position to receive those blessings. So what God had me to share with her before releasing her was that the whole agenda for this thing was really not about the job, because at the end, again, she truly just wasn't a good fit. It's not a good or a bad thing about her. She just wasn't a good fit for the job. So I explained to her that she has to be very careful, because the bitterness, the anger, the resentment, all that stuff is coming from her pores, from her spirit, from her soul. Again, I acknowledge it from day one. That's my discernment pick up on that. The other staff pick up on it in the more physical realm, the physical realm, but I saw it in the spiritual realm. I said, God is trying to give you so many blessings, but because you're still holding on to something that happened probably 30 years ago, I don't know, 30 years ago, and you're still hateful because of what happened to you, this is why you can't move forward in life, which I already knew that from things she had shared with me. This is why God won't open the doors to give you more and give you better, including a new spouse, including all these things, because your spirit have to be pure and clear in order to receive blessings. Why would God take something or someone that he has designed specifically for you? Mind you, if God chooses it, it's the right thing. It's the right fit. It's pure. So why would God take something that he has for you and wants to give you and place it into a dirty, dark, negative, toxic soul? It makes no sense. You're going to darken the light. So he's not going to give it to you. He wants to, but he won't. So you have to heal. Not saying it's easy, but you're going to have to start that process one way or another. You're going to have to heal. And then she said to me, and this when it hit me, because I had to move my flesh out the way, because listen, your girl can be petty with her mouth sometimes. I'm going to be honest, especially when I'm helping you and I'm blessing you and you're rising up against me. I got a problem with that, because I can be helping somebody else who wants to help. Like, truth be told, 50 people apply for this job, but I gave it to you because I knew there was a bigger purpose. And this purpose is right now me expressing these words to you. So once I started to humble my flesh some, which was hard, don't judge me, I started to see her walls come down. And again, the thing she shared with me, what had happened to her, was mind-blowing. If I'm honest, I've never heard any story like it. So she had every right to be hurt, angry. She had every right to be what had happened to her. But you can't carry this thing for a lifetime, because it had happened a long time ago. Maybe 30 years, like I said. And so I sympathize. And because I am an empath, I feel everybody's hurt, everybody's pain. I take it with me. I take it home with me. Something that I do not want to do, but it's just who I am. So I empathize with that pain. I'm sorry you ever had to even go through that. No one should had to go through that, right? But if we're honest, everybody in this lifetime have been through some things. So it's about finding that way to heal. We all heal differently. And she looked at me and she said, "You're right, but I don't even know how to heal. Like, I just don't think I can do this on my own." And I said, "You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. You cannot do it on your own. You will not do it on your own. You got to go to God and you got to ask God intimately, God, how do I heal? I can't do it without you. I need you. So please tell me what I need to do to get this process started and to cling to you. No, I will never forget what has happened, but I got to heal. It has happened. I can't change it. But what do I do to start my healing process so I can get what you truly have for me, because I went wrong by picking myself to begin with. I picked these fools in my life. So I had to flashback this now. I picked these fools in my life. So what can I do to be able to receive the people and the things that you truly have for me? And so I shared some more words. You guys know when I talk in spirit. I ask God from the jump, please move me out the way, because I will get in the way. So let it be all spirit. Just use me as a vessel. So as I was speaking to her and shared more words, I could just see her, like, physically, I could see her flesh jumping. Almost like she was rubbing herself, rubbing her arms as if ants were on her. That's when you know God is using you. Because, see, your words alone ain't that powerful. You ain't that powerful. Who do we think we are? We're just a vessel. So that's how I knew when I saw her reaction, when I start to see some of that heaviness come up off of her, and most importantly, that she was able to finally listen to someone finally, I knew right in that point that that's what God needed me to do, right? So of course I wasn't going to say, okay, you're fired today because I waited for God to tell me what to do. No, I didn't do that. I knew God would work it out within his own time, and he did. Because just a couple of days later, there was something that happened at the job, and I had to let her go. It had nothing to do with me, with God. It had everything to do with store her in that negative, dark, toxic mouth and everything else. And so I had to release her. But I prayed and I asked God to continue to maybe have someone water that seed for her. I planted the seed. I trust that maybe that started the process of her understanding that she got to start getting, herself healed. And only she can do that with God. On the flip side, the very humble individual who I talked about earlier, who is just very grateful, thankful, humble, just like give me like cars. Oh my God, you're the best boss ever. Like, just very grateful. Well, she got promoted. In a matter of 3 months. I've never ever promoted someone in 3 months. But she proven herself. But most importantly, she stayed consistent. She stayed obedient. Not to me, but, to God and through the job and all that stuff like that. But because she proven herself, I should say. She proven herself in a short period of time. Believe me when I tell you. So she got promoted. So it's important to know that when God is trying to give us something, we got to humble ourselves. I don't care how much we think we know, how much we have to humble ourselves, because if we don't, God will snatch the opportunity from us, just to let us know that at the end of the day, he's in charge. You don't run anything. We run nothing. He releases blessings. He removes blessings. And if we're humble, if we're grateful, we're thankful, and we move in order, he will advance and promote you. I've been promoted so many times. I've been advanced so many times in so many situations because I was humbled. Sometimes I wasn't as humble. I'm lying now that I think about it. Sometimes I wasn't. But more than anything for myself, again, we all are different. I know without a doubt what has opened many doors for myself is my obedience. I'm extremely obedient. I may not be as humble sometimes, because this mouth sometimes can get a little petty, but I'm working on that. Don't judge me. But I'm obedient. I'm telling you guys don't even know sometimes the things that I go through during my day. Sometimes I'm tired from work, and God to have me turn around somewhere, drive 30 minutes just to give a word, or just whatever. I'm going to do it. So again, I always tell people, when God knows he can trust you, and that's obedience. When he knows he can trust you with a little bit, he'll give you a lot. So I hope this helps someone today. Again, if you've lost some blessings because you may have talked too much, or you may have went on somewhere and act a fool, or whatever you have done, God will always send it back around. It may not be that same thing, but he'll send it back around. As a matter of fact, it may be better than what he initially sent you. But for this time, you got to prove to him that you're grateful, that you're humble, and that you're thankful. Even if it's not money the amount of money that you think you should be making. But because you appreciate the blessing and the opportunity, when he see that, that's when he will give you more. So don't let your mouth block your blessings, honey. You guys have a great one. It's your girl, Kizzy Rock.